Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of the slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60.
1 2 1 2 1 2 Angry Black Man Media Squad. It's your main man, Chief Stock G. Man, first and foremost, want to apologize, man. I had the screen on me the whole time the music was playing, and I didn't even have the damn sound of the music for y'all to be able to hear. Man. Technical difficulties, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it is, man. Motherfucking trying to get it popping with y'all on this Saturday evening. Live on the Angry Hour, man. Every day, 60 minutes, we go live to discuss what's going on out here concerning the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian. Y'all see here, man, I got the Angry Black Man shirt. Say, surely oppression make a wise man mad. Again, Ecclesiastes 7:7. That's what is the foundation, this channel, foundation of all the views and the sentiments that shared and expressed on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Oppression makes a wise man mad. And if you in 2022, you're living in America, and you see the condition that our people are living in, and you see the things that we are suffering, then surely you will be mad if there's any wisdom in you. You understand? And we as black people have got to begin to understand that all the things that we have been fed by our oppressor concerning how we express our frustrations and how we show our disdain for what it is that we have been suffering in this place is not based on how good or bad it makes our oppressor feel. And one of the major things that we have to do as a people, man, is break our ties with the culture that our oppressor has given us. A lot of the ways that we as black people have learned to adapt and learn to cope with difficulties and hardships comes from, you know, what's been given us by our oppressor. Whether it's what how you deal with things concerning your spirituality and what you and how you, where your faith lies, or just your mentality towards difficulties and hardships. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what we've been given comes directly from our oppressor, and there's a reason why a lot of what has been given to us has not been successful for us as a people on a large scale. So in order for us to be able to gain traction on reclaiming our communities and reclaiming all the precious things that belong to us, we've got to first recognize that the problem lies with, the way that we've been programmed and the way that we've been taught. And that's why for this hour today on the Angry Black Hour, I wanted to first begin by discussing belief. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to y'all live. I might seem a little discombobulated because in one ear, I'm listening to Summer Madness 12, which is the Ultimate Rap League. Ultimate Rap? Yeah, URL, Ultimate Rap League Battle Rap, man. They in their 12th Summer Madness. It's like their WrestleMania, so to speak. Summer Madness is like a big, event that they have with all the big rappers that everybody listen to. Hear them come and rap and do their little battle thing. And it's crazy, man, because I remember back in the day when I was younger, before there was any URL, before there was any, battle rap on the internet or on the TV, you used to have to go buy the DVDs to hear these cats who was largely underground. They don't have no mainstream CDs you can go listen to. You know what I'm saying? You can't go buy none of their albums is really selling in those stores. You got to wait every few months to hear these cats rap. And when they rapping, it's because they battling each other. You know what I'm saying? And I never would have imagined when I was, a youngin' listening to these cats battling and going and buying the DVDs and buying the CDs that this would ever be something that was mainstream. But here we are 12 years later, they in their 12th Summer Madness where they selling out arenas and selling out shows. They got an app. They got a deal with an app called Caffeine to be able to live stream their stuff. They got a private website with a paywall that you got to get into in order to be able to watch the replays. You know what I'm saying? They have, you can't find any battles on YouTube, can't find the battles on the internet. And all of that they've been able to establish, I know was built because of their hard work behind the scenes and establishing their brand and then building up their talent roster and just being dedicated to the craft. You know what I'm saying? And that takes belief. It takes belief to have something that doesn't exist, and then to make it be something that's successful and make it be something that grows, and it's something that impacts people's lives. That's what belief does. You know what I'm saying? We have been raised again by the programming of our oppressor. We have been taught to think the wrong way about a lot of these concepts that shape and form our reality. You know what I'm saying? This English language has given us words that we use loosely without really understanding the definitions of them. What I'm not going to sit here and do is give y'all a bunch of pseudo etymologies. I'm not going to give you believe is the be, the lie, Eve. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to give you that knowledge is know the ledge, and that's the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pseudo shit that's in the black community that we really got to get away from. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to understanding words and comes to understanding concepts that shape our reality, we got to just deal with what's actual and factual. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know what a word means, go to the dictionary and get the definition of the word, and then, you know, make sure you understand the definition. You know what I'm saying? Belief is not a thought. Belief is not a feeling. Belief is not some intangible thing that you can't describe and can't explain. Belief is an action. You understand? Belief is something that you know to be true, and that is what shapes your behavior. It's the same thing with love. Love is not some abstract, thing that everybody has a different definition of, and everybody has a different way of expressing it. Love is an action. You know what I'm saying? You know that you love someone or you love something based on how you interact with it, how you deal with it, how you treat it. You know what I'm saying? Biblically speaking, we know that love is obeying the Most High. Very simple. If you love the Most High, you do what he say to do. If you don't do what he say to do, then you don't love him. And that is the way that we have to start dealing with our reality. We have to stop making things complex and abstract and not easy to be understood. We got to just deal with the black and white of life. You understand? Belief is an action. Somebody tells me R. Kelly had that song, I Believe I Could Fly. And he sang the hell out of that song. And that song for over many years was an anthem for a lot of people, for a lot of, hopeful times in their life. Well, if R. Kelly was ever in front of me and told me that he believed I could fly, I would tell him, prove it, nigga. And if you want to prove to someone that you believe you can do something, then you'll go do it. R. Kelly said he believed he could fly. All right, nigga, go top of that building and jump off. Are you not going to jump off the building? Well, then I guess you really don't believe you can fly. And if we take that simple black and white of belief and apply it to other things in our life, then you'll realize that your belief is what shapes your existence. Why is that important? Why am I saying that? Why is belief even something that matters? Because there's a lot of our people today who are caught up in belief systems that are damaging and harming them, and they don't realize that it's because the thing that they are giving power to is what's actually shaping their reality. For instance, a lot of our people are caught up in religion, caught up in Christianity and Islam, and they believe in that, there's some God somewhere who loves everybody and loves everything, and they can do whatever they want to do, and they'll still be loved. Well, if you believe that you can do anything you want to do, and there's no consequences or repercussions, and that there's the higher power that exists that created all things in earth and in the universe is going to love you no matter what, well, then you cannot be mad at anyone when horrible things happen in your life. And that is largely the reason why we as a people have become numb to all of the horrible, tragic things that befall us in this life. If you're someone who lives and believes that God, who created everything that exists, loves you no matter what, unconditionally, and that you can do whatever you want to do and live however you want to live, and all you have to do is say, I'm sorry, God, please forgive me, and he'll be there to hug you and kiss you and give you everything you want. When horrible things happen in your life, then you are not going to blame your behavior for why it happened. And the first thing that we have to acknowledge as a people is the horrible things that we experience in our lives, we have a part to play in them. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult for a lot of our people to be able to understand this because we've been told that we've been lied to. We've been told that God loves everybody and God loves everything. And all you have to do is just believe and all good things and wonderful things will happen to you in your life. But that's just not the reality of our situation. You understand? But because you believe that, you'll live, you don't have any morality. You don't have any boundaries. There's no care for what's right and what's wrong. There's no care for, you know, good or bad. Everybody's just doing whatever they want to do and let the chips fall where they may. That is due to the belief that you can do whatever you want to do. But when so much bad happens in your life and you snap out of that false belief system, then a lot of our people run to other things to believe is the reason for why things happen in their life. If I meet another black woman that asks me what's my zodiac sign, I might lose my mind. If I have another conversation with a person who tells me that Mercury is in retrograde, and that is why men are cheating on that's why Ime Udoka cheated on Nia Long, and that's why, you know, it's going to be a violent summer because Mercury is in retrograde and people going off. If I have one more person tell me that, oh, it's a full moon out tonight, man, you know, it's about to be a rough night in the streets, I don't know what I'm going to do. But those those thoughts, you know what I'm saying, and those sentiments that people express comes from them believing that the stars in the sky and the moon and the sun where it sets has something to do with people's behavior. If you believe that, then guess what? It's going to dictate your actions. There are some people who study that zodiac and they do the tarot card readings, and you know what I'm saying, because they believe it is real, they give power to it. There are women out here who have ruined relationships. I ain't gonna say just women. There are people out here who have ruined perfectly good relationships because they believed that we not compatible because he's a Leo and I'm a Cancer. Or surely this wouldn't be able to work because, you know, he's a Taurus, man. They bullheaded, and I'm a Gemini. So, you know, I got two sides to me, and one side like him and the other side don't. There are people who have ruined perfectly good situations because of their belief in astrology. And for someone who doesn't believe in it, somebody who knows better, you cannot convince the person who believes in it that they're wrong and that it's not real. Because they'll tell you, no, man, this astrology is real because my horoscope said in September 2019, look up, Taurus, something good is coming your way. And I hit the lottery for I went to the casino and won $10,000. It's because of the cards. The cards told me. Like, people give power to whatever it is that they believe. And it is that belief that formulates their actions. It's the reason why they do what they do. And then the consequences that they receive because of those actions further validates their belief. Now, there are people out there who believe in all kinds of things. And their belief in those things is the reason why they do what they do. But for those of us who believe in the truth, we have to understand that the same way the person who believes in astrology can make those stars and whatever that horoscope says real to them, then you believing in the power of the Most High makes everything that he said real as well. And why is that important? Because the Bible is the single most controversial source of promises and blessings for those who believe that exists on the earth. There's no other piece of literature, there's no other belief system, there's no other spiritual ideology that exists on the earth that says that if you do X, Y, and Z, you will have power and you will rule the earth. There's no other piece of literature or belief system or spiritual system on the earth that says if you obey and do A, B, C, and D, then you are going to have a kingdom that supersedes every other kingdom that's ever existed, and you are going to rule in the earth. Now, knowing the truth of the Bible, why anybody would choose to serve anything else, I don't know. But knowing the truth of the Bible, why would you not go full force into everything that it says to do, knowing the rewards that are said to come? And that's what I want everybody to focus in on. The people all around the earth every day are making things happen in their lives because of their belief. There are people who believe that if they claim something in the name of Jesus, they're going to be able to claim it. And guess what? They're going out there and they claiming them some stuff. Whether you like it or not. There's women out there who believe in the horoscope of them cards, and they is going out and whatever the damn newspaper or the cards or the stars say that they supposed to do, they going out and they doing it. You understand? There's Chinese people all over the earth who set up shops in our communities, and they got that little goddamn, some little cat with an arm that just swing back and forth, and they put a little fruit on that thing, and they believe that if they give that little cat some fruit, that they're going to make good money in this nigga neighborhood. And guess what? There's money pouring in to that store every day in that nigga neighborhood, and they're giving credit to that little cat that they put that fruit in front of. Well, if you know that that's fake and that's some bullshit, but there's a power that is actually real, that all you have to do is obey and you'll have a kingdom to rule forever, then why aren't you doing it? What is the matter with your belief? Why isn't your belief in your God as strong as the Christian's belief in claiming it in the name of Jesus? Why isn't your belief as strong as, you understand, the Asian's belief in feeding this little cat and I'm going to get this money? Hell, there's East Indians over there. There are East Indians over there who believe that if they sacrifice their woman's hair to some god over there by shaving bald, that they're going to be wealthy and they're going to have money. And because of that belief, guess what? There are women who go before this. There are women in East India that grow their hair long, and at a given time they go before their, patron saint of hair, and they sacrifice that hair by cutting it bald. And guess what? They take that hair, they clean it, wash it up, put it on a string, and put it in a bundle, and bring it over here to America. And there's a $3 billion a year business that the East Indians have selling their hair to black women in America. Now, you go over there and tell them that their God ain't real. You go over there and tell them that their God is fake. They're going to say, no, it's not fake. It's real. Look at all this money we have. But what happens when you begin to believe in your God? What happens when you begin to do everything that is subscribed in your records that says you're going to rule the earth if you obey? The power is undeniable. But do you really believe is the question. The answer to that lies within all of us. And all over this country, every week and every day, there are brothers and sisters who are showing just how much they believe in that power. And that's why there's classes going out every day in the ISUPK. That's why there's street speakings every Saturday, every Friday out there on the streets all across this country. There's brothers out there speaking. They pounding the pavement with boots. They going to events like the one we went to down here in Memphis today. You understand? They showing up at town halls. They getting the microphone and they speaking on behalf of the people, and they bringing awareness. You understand that there are some men and some women in these communities that have not forgotten the power of belief. Now, the people out there in the world going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to think you insane. They're going to say, man, look at these cats dressing funny out there on the streets yelling. What the hell wrong with them? Why don't they go get a job? Why don't they go do something with their time? Those people don't realize that what you're doing is believing. They don't realize that what you're doing is what must be done in order for all of the sacrifices and the hard work we've put in to pay off. It's just like it was with with Noah and the ark. Noah was out there building the ark, and they looking at him like, man, you crazy? What the hell you building this boat in the middle of the desert for? Noah told them it was going to rain. I said, nigga, it ain't going to rain. You tripping. Well, guess what? Noah believed it was going to rain. How did you know? Because he built that goddamn boat. Sure enough, He built that boat, and then one day it started to rain. Everybody understood then that Noah's belief was real. Because when that rain came, everybody that laughed at him, they were the ones that drowned. They were the ones that got left behind. Well, that's what we're doing in 2022, man. We building an ark. But it's an ark that's built because of our belief, because of us knowing what we know to be true. We are going to pound the pavement. We're going to teach. We're going to raise up camps and raise up cities. And we're going to challenge anyone who dares say that we are wrong until there's enough of us believing and doing what must be done, and then we can be delivered. But it's important to remember that your belief is shown in your actions. And again, that's why I'm thankful for the Most High and Christ and the ISUPK and Commander General Yohana and all the generals and the captains and the officers, because this thing that we have is tangible. We go out there and we tell people what we believe in. It's not just words we're saying. We're not like Christians where, you have a problem or issue and we tell you just pray about it. We're not like, anybody on the earth who tells you that, that there's some ooky spooky solution to all your problems. No. This thing is very tangible and it's very real and it's very black and white. And either you believe or you don't. And if you don't believe, then your actions will show that. If you do believe, your actions will show that. And belief is the power of belief is what moves mountains. You understand? This oppressor that's been ruling over us, they believed at one point that they were going to be where they are. And they knew that in order to get there, they were going to have to take some very drastic measures. They was going to have to do some very dramatic things. And guess what? They banded together and they've done those dramatic things. They banded together and created, unspeakable deals in the darkness. They've done unfathomable things to make sure that they remain on the top and to make sure that the people who are destined to rise above them stay in their place on the bottom. And at every turn, there's something trying to discourage you and trying to stop you from what it is that you believe to be true. And that is where your fight is. Your fight, we always talk about fighting against the oppressor. We always talking about the revolution. We always talk about, getting free. Well, the only thing that we're fighting in this revolution is ourselves. The only thing we have to fight to get free is ourselves. The only thing we have to overcome in order to be successful is our doubt in ourselves. And all of those go hand in hand. Belief, doubt, insecurity. Those are not intangible things. Those are not, it's not something that's not easily explained. When you doubt, it changes your behavior. It changes your actions. Doubt isn't just a thought in your mind. It's not, I don't know if I can do it. No, doubt is you not doing it because you don't believe you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And when you maturing in life and you're growing and you're going through things, that is when you experience, you know what I'm saying? Not these thoughts, but this is when you experience these things. You experience belief. You experience doubt. You experience faith. You understand? As you go through life and you encounter different situations and circumstances. And that's why the Most High causes us to go through the things that we go through. That's why you have the good times and the bad times, because they are what determine your level of belief. And if you never go through anything difficult, if you never go through any tests, if you never have any struggles in life, then how would you know how powerful you are? A lot of the setbacks and a lot of the L's that you take in life and a lot of the things that don't go your way, you've been trained to look at them as failures. You've been trained to look at them as setbacks, when really it's just they're just stepping stones toward your ultimate goal. It's just, part of the process. If everything in life just happened because you decided to try to make something happen, then you would, you'd never know how far you could go. But when you know that you want to do something, you know that you're capable of doing something, and you know that you can make it happen, and you know that you could manifest and make it real, No matter how many people you tell that you can do it, no matter how many people tell you that it'll never happen, no matter how many people tell you that, man, you better go ahead and stop that, it's not even worth your time. All of that is what makes it worth the while when you accomplish that goal. But goals can't be accomplished unless you believe, unless you know that this is something that I'm going to do. And so with anything in life, with everything in life, man, have some belief. Have some belief. Have some faith in yourself, in the Most High, in your ability and your capacity to be great and to do amazing things. Because if it's not for that, then we'll never have nothing. And I say that because every brother or sister is capable of doing something great and something amazing. All of us have been blessed and endowed by the Most High with an ability that makes us all necessary, makes us all special, makes us all part of something that is great and amazing. And being in the truth, man, I look out and I see brothers and sisters and I see all of the different skills and things that brothers get, and it's amazing, man. There's, not everybody's blessed with the same gifts. Not everybody has the same skills, and there are many skills and gifts that I have not been blessed with, but I see brothers and sisters have them, and I thank the Most High that they have the opportunity to really take those gifts and to make them flourish and to make them grow. Because it gives me hope for our people, it gives me hope for our nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need in these dark times. In these times that we're living in, it's necessary to know that there's brothers and sisters who are earnestly doing what's right, earnestly living their lives to receive the blessings and to receive, the promises that the Most High gave to us. And I just can't wait to be able to see them. But along the way, it's, we're going to face some difficult times. We're going to face some struggles. We're going to face some setbacks. And it's in those times that it's important to remember and know that, listen, man, it wouldn't be worthwhile if it came easy. You know what I'm saying? But it's, like I said, the point of all of that was to say people give power to their beliefs. And their beliefs is what shapes their actions. And actions is what makes something real to you or fake. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you believe in, man, you give that thing power. So if we believe in the truth and we believe in the Most High, then do everything that he said to do so that you can see the rewards that come with that belief. But with that, I'm going to take a quick break, man. We're going to come right back. Rest of the show, we're going to talk about some things that's going on. Yesterday's show, man, I talked about that Ime Udoka situation with the Boston Celtics coach. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Brett Favre stealing that money from poor people down here in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got some updates on those things. We're going to talk about some more things that's going on. Now, y'all live on the Angry Black Man Media channel. It's your man, Chief Sock G. Send y'all the break right quick. We'll be right back. Shalom.
Friends, we say, come on,
Call me mouth These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my bullshit. I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settling? See, you locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause it's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fucking scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow Air Ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin'. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up on my bullshit.
Yeah, man. Again, y'all live on Angry Black Man Media Channel. It's your main man, Chief Sock G. Live with the Angry Black Hour, man. It is Saturday, September 24th. You know what I'm saying? Belief is an action. And then, again, with the music, well, okay, with success in anything in life, man, it starts in your mind first. Starts upstairs. And only those who are strong-willed and have, you know what I'm saying, a strong mind, those are the people who are successful in life. Those are the people who are able to take, you know, ideas and thoughts and make them manifest into reality. It's not easy to take something that's in your mind and make it real. It takes a strong will. It takes a strong belief that this is something that I'm going to do and nothing's going to stop me from making it happen, no matter how much I got to go through to get it done. And when it comes, again, being successful, like these brothers in the truth with this music, it's beautiful to see these brothers shooting these videos and getting their music out, going in the booth and recording and, you know what I'm saying, putting it out. It's like, it's not easy to, you know, being creative and creating something in your mind and making it real. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the most, not just making it real, but being successful at it is one of the most difficult things to do because it's easy to doubt yourself. It's easy to go in the studio. First of all, you listen to a beat, write something down. You're like, man, that shit kind of hot. Then you put it together, come up with a concept, come up with a song. Then you go in the studio and you record it. And you're recording it and you're trying to get it right. And you're like, okay, that sounds all right, sounds good. And then you go in there in the booth and you spit it. And then you listen back to it and you're like, I don't know. But then you like, fuck it, I'm gonna ride with it. Then you put it out there and you upload it on the YouTube and then you watch to see the views. And you get a couple views and you're like, man, maybe the shit wasn't as hot as I thought it was. Maybe that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? But then fuck it, you go back to the drawing board, get another beat, listen to it, okay, boom, start to write down. You do your thing, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta keep working at it. You gotta keep pushing forward. You gotta keep going through it again and again and over until you begin to make some headway, until you begin to see Okay, there's some people that fuck with it. There's some people that's getting from this what I put into it. That's not an easy process to go through. The creative process is not an easy one. You know what I'm saying? And it takes you having a strong foundation mentally and spiritually in order to be able to overcome what you have to overcome to become successful. In order to get other people to believe in your vision and get other people on board with this thing that you're trying to create is not an easy thing to do. But the same way you put your, you put your time and your energy and your effort and your money into that, you can do it with anything. And that's why the truth is such an enlightening thing for brothers and sisters, but it's also very trying. It's very testing, because week after week, teaching classes, going out on the street, you're not eating this, you checking labels for the right things, you interacting with people and telling them, no, I don't do this, I don't do that. Every year you're facing the Christmas and the Thanksgiving and the Halloween and all these holidays, and you're like, no, I don't do that. I don't live my life that way. And at times it could be challenging. At times it could be difficult. I've been down here in Memphis, Tennessee for about 3 years trying to build it up. And I got a lot of brothers and sisters over the years. They come to the school, and they learn. They here for a while. They doing their thing. Then they fall off, don't hear from them no more. And sometimes it's like, well, damn. When is this thing going to bear some fruit? When is this thing going to begin to manifest? I know I know I had the vision. I know what it is I'm capable of doing. I know what can be accomplished. But damn, it's rough. That's all part of the process. And if you don't ever have those days where you fighting in your mind about whether this was the right decision or whether this is the thing that I should be doing, then that thing that you're trying to do isn't the thing that you should be trying to do. If anything in life that comes easy, anything in life that's worthwhile does not come easy. You got to fight for it. You got to toil for it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, like I was saying, man, yesterday, talked to y'all about, how the media picks and chooses what it is that they want to highlight and what it is that they want to get all the people to focus in on. And we talked about how Brett Favre, former NFL quarterback, stole all this money, you know what I'm saying, from black people. Stole all this money from the poor people down there in Mississippi, and how the media wasn't focusing in on it. Media wasn't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And then we talked about what happened with the coach of the Boston Celtics and his relationship or his infidelities being made mainstream news. You know what I'm saying? And how we as a people have to understand the power that we have in dictating what it is that becomes newsworthy among us and what doesn't. We have got to, we got to realize that we all we got. We can't depend on nobody or trust anybody outside of our nation to be able to lead and guide us in the right direction and to show us what it is that we should be paying attention to. So guess what? We got to do it ourselves. If the mainstream media won't point out to you injustice because the perpetrators is someone of their nation, someone, you know what I'm saying, who they hold in high regard, well, then it's the responsibility to make sure that we get the message is on us. And time after time, we see that those who are supposed to be leaders in our community fail us because they never are the ones to point out the culprits behind the injustice that we suffering. And so if they won't do it, then we got to do it ourselves. But in doing that, it's sometimes you got to be the voice crying in the wilderness. But after a while, when the voices that's in the voices that's in the city begin to get drowned out because they've, what they're speaking falls on deaf ears, well, then that voice that's been crying from the wilderness is the one that people are going to turn to. So we just got to make sure that we stay being that voice that's in that wilderness so that when the time comes that everybody realizes that these talking heads that we seeing on the TV and we hearing on the radio aren't really telling us what's going on, then they'll be ready to hear that voice that's in the wilderness. But if the voice crying in the wilderness goes silent, then when the time comes for everyone to turn to it, they ain't gonna be nothing for them to be able to receive. You know what I'm saying? So being that voice that's crying in the wilderness, man, you gotta always cry out. And that's what the scriptures tells us. That's what's in the instructions that's given to us by the Most High. And all of those things that are given to us by the Most High require you to believe. Because what? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, but not seen. So it's a requirement to believe. It's a requirement to have faith. And again, that belief and that faith is your actions. It's what you do. It's not what you think, it's not what you feel, but it's what you actually go out there and you do. You understand? And what we got to understand is, it says the saying that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. Well, a lot of people are insane because of their belief. They believe in something that causes you to be insane. For instance, voting. That's a major thing that's in the news right now. They're constantly pushing this run up to this re-election period that's about to happen. In 2022, we in between the 2000 elections and the 2024 elections. And right now, what's about to happen for the people who believe, what's about to happen with this next round of voting is going to have great ramifications for what comes in 2024. And that's why there's this mad dash and this mad scramble all in the news and all on the TV about what happened with Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago, and what's going on with Joe Biden and what he said about the pandemic, and what's going on with the student loans being forgiven. There's a whole lot of jockeying for position to convince people that what happens in 2004 is going to make a difference in the future of this country going forward. When the reality is, if you are someone who's been in this country and you understand what is being told to the people to believe in this place, and you know there's always been an agenda for how this country is going to be run, and no matter who's in control, no matter what hands it falls into every 4 years, we on the same trajectory. Ain't nothing changed. You think that going out there and voting and putting your ballot in a booth is going to change something in your community, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian? You think that gentrification has been somehow changed or curtailed because of what happened at the voting booth? You think that the Civil Rights Movement and the Civil Rights Voting Act of 1967 had an impact on the direction that this country was headed in? You've got to be insane if you believe that. You've got to be insane if you think that the help that we need in the Black community comes from the goddamn ballot box. Then, it's ridiculous. What we need to understand and need to believe is that the only change that we can see in our community has to come from us. And because of that belief system that we've been given of, democracy is a belief system. Democracy is, it requires faith. If I just go vote, if I just go cast this ballot, then surely this person who's been on my TV telling me these things is going to make something change. What is that change based? What is that belief based in? It's not based in anything that's real or anything that's authentic. What politician that ever ran for election got voted and did everything they said they was going to do? There's not one. Not on the Republican side, not on the Democrat side. So if there's no evidence that anything that these people say they're going to do is going to actually be done, then what is it that the people who are voting for them, what are they required to have? They have to have a belief. They have to have a belief that this is the system and this is the system that works and this is the way it is. This is how I make a difference. Well, because too many people believe that voting is the way that they make a difference, they don't do anything else to make a difference. They don't have to change anything in their personal lives. They don't have to change their behavior and their actions in order to see change in their community. Why? Because they went and they voted. When the truth of the matter is, the only way anything around you in life changes is if you change. It's people who grow up in a certain community, certain neighborhood, and things is horrible and bad. Their whole life has been rough. There's people holding them down and they suffering setbacks and things going wrong. They think that if they move and live somewhere else, something's going to change. I was like that. I grew up uptown D.C. I grew up in Montgomery County, Maryland, but then I moved uptown. I know a whole ton of niggas growing up that used to say, man, I gotta leave the city, man. I'm gonna move down south. I remember when everybody from DC started moving down south. They was gonna move to North Carolina, move to Atlanta. Some people were staying close. They was moving to Southern Maryland. Well, them people, they left the city. They moved to North Carolina, moved to Atlanta, moved to Southern Maryland, and guess what followed? Them. All the same problems, all the same issues that they was facing living in the city, they was facing them same problems when they moved to the country. Why? Because they were the problem. They were the issue. What was the issue? What was their problem? Their belief. They believed that changing their surroundings would help, not realizing that the actual problem was them. But because they believed changing their surroundings would help, they saved up the money, said goodbye to their family and their friends, and went and started over in a brand new place. And after a while, that brand new place became like the old place because they were the problem. If you want something in your life to change, you can't depend on somebody else to change it for you. Hell, I've been a heavyset cat all my life. If I want to lose weight, another nigga working out ain't gonna make me lose weight. If I want to get in shape, another person dieting really well ain't gonna get me in shape. But that's what this current climate that we're in with this social media, that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to make you believe that you could be like the person on the TV. You could be like the person on this Instagram post. If you just, if you watch them and you follow them and you subscribe and you send them messages in their back channel, they're going to give you this, magic key to make you look like them or to make you feel like them. That ain't how life happens, man. That's not how anything in life happens. You have to apply pressure. You have to put in work. You have to do what's required in order to get results. And a lot of people don't want to do the work. They don't want to put the action behind their thoughts and their emotions. They think that if they just believe in their mind, believing is just what they think, what they feel. They just believe hard enough something to happen. That's not real life. Sitting around thinking about something has never gotten anyone anything in life. If you want something, you got to go out and you got to get it. You got to be aggressive. You got to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Blood, sweat, and tears. That's how things get done in the real world. And that's why we do what we do in the ISUPK and the Commander General, Your Honor. That's why we do what we do. You understand? With going out on the street and teaching, doing lectures and debates, sitting on Clubhouse and debating with people and breaking down the wisdom and the knowledge that we've gained. You know what I'm saying? That's why we go out our way to tell people, nah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for our belief in the Most High, then why would anybody expect anything great coming from black people? If it wasn't for believing in the Most High, why would you break your neck to help a troubled youth? Why would you break your neck to help a sister who, got a bunch of kids and don't have a man? Why would you break your neck to help a brother who came out of the prison, who's struggling with maintaining the job and having a stable place to live? Why would you care about these people at all if you didn't believe in the Most High? Because nothing else in this world tells you that these people are worth saving, are worth struggling for, are worth fighting for. But it's knowing that, hey, at one time I was this brother. At one time I was this sister. At one time I was the one who needed help. And there was somebody there that helped me. And they helped me and I became better. And I became whole. And I became someone who could contribute something that's worthwhile. And because I was able to change and I was able to become better, now I can go and help someone else change. Now I can go and make someone else better. And that's the gift that keeps on giving when you have, brotherhood, you have sisterhood. And you live righteously. And you do what the Most High says to do. You become powerful. Not because of what you think, but because of what you do. You know what I'm saying? And what you do is the most important thing in life. Your legacy is going to be established because of what you do and what you've done. Not because of what you thought, not because of what you felt, not because of what you hoped for, but because of what you did. All the great people who are remembered in the world, remembered in history, among all the cultures and all the, the civilizations on the earth, people are remembered for what they did. You read in the Bible, you read about all them great prophets and them great men who in those records, they're in there because of what they done, not because of what they thought or what they felt. You go across all these other histories and cultures in the world. You think about what we've been raised to believe here in America. All of the great, the founding fathers. What made them great? What they did. You go to the Chinese history. You go to the Japanese history, the African history, the East Indian history. Everybody's history on the planet, all the cultures that are recorded and written down, anything to be passed to future generations. You're reading about people who did things, not people who thought. You understand? Even the great philosophers who you can go learn about in school. Those philosophers are only known because of what they wrote down, because of what they went out and taught people and said. You don't get remembered for what you think. You don't get remembered for what you feel. You get remembered for what you do. And what you do and how you do it is determined by what you believe in. So again, belief is an action. Belief is not a thought in your mind. It's not some intangible thing. It's what is real and what is actual in the world. Everything that you see, everything that has ever been created and ever been made started with someone knowing they could do it. And because they knew they could do it, they went out and they did it. So what is it that you're capable of? What can you do? What have you been created for? What's your purpose on this earth? If you're struggling and you're going through something, that's not why you was put on this earth. You wasn't put on this earth to struggle. You wasn't put on this earth to lose. You wasn't put on this earth to never be able to achieve. We all was put on this earth because we all have the ability to overcome, to create, to build, to magnify, to multiply. And that's what it's going to take if we want to be who it is that we know we're capable of being. But nobody could do it for us. We got to do it for ourselves. There's some battles in life that, require brotherhood, requires us being there for one another, lifting one another up, building one another up. Then there's those battles that you got to fight alone, by yourself, in the darkness, in the quietness, in your mind. You got to fight. Hell, and even with those battles, you may have to call on someone that's, to pray for you or to help you out or to, know that you're going through it, to be there to catch you if you fall. But it's still, to get through it, you're going to have to fight on your own. You're going to have to be the one that has the strength to overcome. You're going to have to be the one that has the wherewithal to get through what it is you're going through. And that comes from you knowing what you know to be true. And that's the beautiful thing about the truth is it covers every aspect of your life. There's a lot of beliefs that only deal with relationships. It only deals with finance. It only deals with, being successful in the corporate world. But it doesn't, those beliefs don't translate to other areas of your life. The truth is all encompassing. It covers every aspect of your life. It covers your relationship with your parents, relationship with your kids, relationship with your significant other. Covers how you deal with, your boss in the professional setting, how you deal with your coworkers and your peers. It covers how you present yourself in a social environment. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you need to know to be successful and to prosper in life, it's in the Bible. And it's being taught in the ISUPK. But unless you're someone who's willing to do what it is that's right, do what it is that's required, then you're never going to be able to live up to that standard. Because living up to that standard requires you to believe that it's true. Somebody, again, using the example of the astrologers. Them people who believe in astrology, what does astrology have to do with, raising your children? What does astrology have to do with making a relationship work? What does astrology have to do with, creating? There's no rules, there's no standards, there's no guidelines for those intricate situations and circumstances you may find yourself in life. Same thing goes for the people that's in that church. How does what you learn in that place apply to your finances? Apply to you knowing, to having discipline. Apply to knowing when to do something and when not to do it. And that's because that's the reason why we have so many issues and so many problems. So much of what we believe in is tied to what we have been given to us by our oppressor. Someone who murdered, raped, and robbed your ancestors, why would they create anything that would allow for you to prosper and overthrow them? Think about the Black Lives Matter movement. And I think about, all of the allies, the quote unquote allies that black people had from those who are, from our oppressor. What oppressor would ever choose to help the people who are oppressed overthrow them to become the people in power? Why would anybody do that? It's not logical. It doesn't make any sense. But there's some of us who believe that these people who are the oppressor, among them there are some who are good who will help us overthrow them so that now we can be the ones in charge. It's ridiculous. And it's not rocket science to know that that's the case. You go look at history. You understand? There's factual evidence. There's case studies to show that any people who arise out of oppression overthrow their oppressors to now become the ones who are in a position to show mercy or in a position to be the oppressors. That's just how life on the earth works. That's not, it's not magic. But if you're someone who believes that, I remember there was a sign that said, black love, just because I love black people doesn't mean I hate whites, or black love, black love is not white hate or something. I forget the saying, man, but it was crazy. It was like, I think it was hating white supremacy doesn't mean I'm a black supremacist or something like that. And it's mind-boggling that anybody could think in their mind, could fathom that there's a way that you could be against this oppressive. There's a way that you could be against the oppressors in this land and what they stand for and who they are and what they believe in. But then somehow it wouldn't make you, I'm forgetting how it was like, you can't be for the people who are oppressed and not be against the oppressor. That's what it was. It was like being for black people doesn't mean I'm anti-white. That's what it was. Being pro-black does not equal anti-white. That was the sign. And to me, it's mind-boggling to me that anybody would think to formulate such an idiotic idea, let alone put it down on a poster. Imagine a poster that said pro-Jew doesn't equal anti-Nazi. Imagine that. Pro-Jew doesn't equal anti-Nazi. Or I can be pro-Jews and, a little Nazi too. That's what it's like to say pro-black doesn't equal anti-white. If you're for someone being oppressed, then you have to be against the oppressor. Now, applying that logic, can the oppressor be against? Can the oppressor be for the oppressed? No, because being for the oppressed means you're against yourself. And no one in the history of the earth fights against themselves and for the benefit of someone else, let alone the benefit of the someone who's going to be the ones to put them in the position of being oppressed. That's life. That's reality. That's black and white. That's not philosophy. That's not an ideology. That's just the truth. But you'll never be able to arrive at that truth if everything you believe and everything that formulates your reality has been given to you by the people who are oppressing you. Of course, the people who are oppressing you want you to believe that you could be pro-black and not anti-white, because that is what's going to keep you in the condition that you're in. That's what's going to keep you in a position of being at the bottom. Rulership and power and authority comes from belief, comes from knowing that this belongs to me. I should be the one ruling. I should be the one in charge because I'm better than these other people. That's how authority works. The boss at the job makes the decisions because he knows better than all of his subordinates. Or else why would they be his subordinates? If these people knew more than me, if they could do my job better than me, then why am I the one with the position? Like that's what's in the minds of the people in charge. That's what's in the minds of the people that's running this place, which is why they continue to be the people that run the place. The people who are at the bottom, unless they believe that they are the ones who are better and they are the ones who should be in charge, they're going to stay at the bottom because they're going to accept the belief that, you know, we could be equal. We could be on the same level. We could be on a level playing field. That's not reality. That's not how life works. There is no such thing as a level playing field. There is no such thing as equality. But there is a thing as supremacy and subordination. If you don't have the mind of a supremacist, then you have the mind of a subordinate. And I don't know about y'all, but in 2022, I don't want to be equal with these people. I don't want to be equal and on this level playing field with the people who have done the abominable, cruel, heinous criminal acts that have been done in this earth that gained them the power they have. I don't want to share anything with them because they are not fit to be in power. They are not fit to have any authority. They are not fit to have any rulership. What they need is to be controlled, limited, restricted, watched over. That is the only way that the earth is going to be at peace. That is the only way the earth is going to be at rest, is if those people who are now in authority and in power are relegated to a position of servitude and subjection, which is where they should have always been. But the reason why they are not in that position is because their belief that they are the ones who should be in authority is stronger than your belief. Well, if we could turn that around, black people, and begin to understand and believe and know that we are the ones who deserve to be in charge, that we are the ones who deserve to rule, that we'll begin to do what's required for us to obtain that rulership. But that's going to do it for me here at the Angry Black Hour, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Angry Black Man Media Squad, I want y'all to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. It's your main man, Chief Sock G. I'll holler at y'all. Shalom.